Right, picture this. Bleak northern pub, rain lashing down like tears from 1,000 broken promises. The kind of rain that makes you feel like the universe is having a laugh at your expense. I'm nursing a pint, staring into its depths like it holds the secrets of the universe. Hoping for some revelation or at least a distraction from the dreariness around me, which, knowing my luck, it probably does, but let's be honest, it's just a pint. And I'm just a bloke trying to escape the monotony of life. That's when he walks in. Colin, the man who could turn a funeral into a stage for his own personal drama. A right piece of work, that one. Always has been, always will be, always strutting about like he owns the bloody place. His confidence is almost comical if it weren't so infuriating. Truth be told, he probably thinks he owns the whole bloody world. And why wouldn't he? He's got that air about him. And maybe the moon too, for good measure. See, Colin's a narcissist, the kind that makes you want to scream into your pint. Full-blown, card-carrying member of the It's All About Me club. You know the type. You know the type. The ones who think the sun shines out of their... Well, you get the picture. They walk into a room and expect everyone to bow down. They crave attention like a vampire craves blood, and they'll drain you dry to get it. It's exhausting just being in their presence, and they'll drain you dry to get it. Every conversation, every interaction, it's all about feeding their insatiable ego. Now I'd clocked Colin's little game a while back. It wasn't hard to see through his facade. The constant need to be the center of attention, the way he manipulates every situation to make himself look good. The subtle put-downs disguised as compliments. The way he makes you feel small just to make himself feel big. The stories that always ended with him as the hero. Classic narcissist playbook. It's like he's reading from a script, but tonight I was armed. Armed with the knowledge of his tricks and the determination to not let him get to me. Tonight, I was ready to play. Ready to stand my ground and not let Colin's antics ruin my night. It was time to turn the tables. First rule of dealing with a narcissist: don't feed the ego. It's a delicate balance, like walking on a tightrope. One wrong move, and you could find yourself in a whirlwind of drama. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. The more you try to appease them, the more you fuel their insatiable need for validation.
You look like you've lost a tenner and found a fiver. It's that constant belittling, the subtle digs that keep you on edge.
Colin sidled up to me, a smug grin plastered on his face like he'd just won the lottery. Again. He always had that air of superiority, as if the world owed him something. See, that's how they reel you in, these narcissists. They charm you with their wit and charisma, making you feel special, only to turn around and use your vulnerabilities against you. They act like they're your best mate, all while sharpening their knives to stab you in the back. It's a game to them, a twisted game of power and control.
Just pondering the universe, Colin. Deep thoughts, you know, trying to make sense of it all.
His eyes narrowed slightly. He was always suspicious, always looking for hidden meanings in every word and gesture. Narcissists hate it when you don't immediately give them the attention they crave. It's like a personal affront to their grandiose self-image. It's like speaking a foreign language to them. They can't comprehend why anyone wouldn't be as obsessed with them as they are with themselves.
Right. So, heard you're thinking of applying for that promotion, trying to gauge my ambitions to see if I was a threat.
Ah, there it was. The real reason for his visit. It wasn't about catching up or friendly banter. The real reason for his visit. He needed to know if I was a competitor in his eyes. See, Colin couldn't stand the thought of anyone else getting ahead, especially not me. It was a constant competition, a never-ending race for superiority. It would bruise his fragile ego, and we can't have that, can we? The world in his mind revolved around him, and any deviation from that narrative was unacceptable.
Thinking about it, yeah. Reckon I've got a good shot.
Colin snorted, a sound like a punctured bagpipe.
Don't get your hopes up. They're looking for someone with a bit more experience.
There it was again, the backhanded compliment. The subtle dig designed to undermine my confidence. Classic gaslighting, a favorite tool in the narcissist's arsenal. They twist your reality, make you question your own sanity. But I wasn't playing his game tonight.
Funny you should say that. Heard they're actually looking for someone who's not afraid to challenge the status quo. Someone with fresh ideas. Someone not like you.
The color drained from Colin's face faster than a pint on a Friday night. His eyes widened, and his hands started to tremble slightly. You see, narcissists love to talk, but they hate to listen. They thrive on the sound of their own voice, basking in the attention they receive, and they especially hate it when you use their own tactics against them. It's called mirroring. This technique involves reflecting their behavior back at them, almost like holding up a mirror to their actions. You reflect their behavior back at them, give them a taste of their own medicine. When they gesture, you gesture. When they speak, you speak in the same tone. It won't cure them, mind you. Narcissists are about as self-aware as a brick. They lack the ability to see their own flaws and shortcomings. But it can knock them off balance, give you a chance to escape their gravitational pull. It disrupts their sense of control and dominance. This momentary confusion can be your window of opportunity, a brief moment to reclaim your own space and sanity.
Well, good luck with that. It's not like they'll change overnight.
Colin mumbled, his earlier arrogance replaced by a petulant sulk. He took a large gulp of his drink, looking like he wanted the earth to swallow him whole. The bravado he once displayed had vanished.
Cheers, mate. Here's to surviving another day,
I said, raising my glass in a mock toast. The irony wasn't lost on me, but sometimes a little humor is all you have left. Section 5, the grey matter game. As Colin slunk away to lick his wounds, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. Dealing with a narcissist is like playing a game of chess with a pigeon. No matter how skillfully you play, they'll knock over the pieces, crap on the board, and strut around like they won. But understanding the psychology of a narcissist is like having the cheat codes to the game. You know their moves before they make them. You can anticipate their manipulations. You can protect yourself from their toxic charm. Section 6, Man of Thoughts, Man of Action, and that's where Man of Thoughts comes in. It's not just a channel name, it's a philosophy. We're not just observers of life, we're active participants. We use our minds to understand the world around us, including the dark corners inhabited by creatures like Colin. We arm ourselves with knowledge, with strategies, with humor. Because sometimes the best way to deal with darkness is to shine a light on it, to laugh in its face, to refuse to let it dim our own light. Section 7, No More Strings. Colin eventually slithered back to our table, his ego sufficiently reinflated to attempt another round, but I was done playing. I'd seen his hand, knew his tricks. He was predictable, pathetic even.
Right, Colin, I said, standing up. I've got a dash.
He looked up at me, a flicker of annoyance crossing his face. So soon, we were just getting started.
Another time, mate, I said, patting him on the shoulder. Another time.
And with that, I walked out of the pub, leaving Colin to his own narcissistic reflection in the bottom of his glass. Section 8. The Narcissist's Endgame. The rain had stopped, and a sliver of moon peeked through the clouds. I took a deep breath of fresh air, feeling lighter than I had in weeks. You see, the best way to win with a narcissist is not to play their game at all. It's to walk away, to refuse to be a pawn in their twisted game of self-aggrandizement. Narcissists need an audience, a source of narcissistic supply. Take away the audience, and they wither like a flower deprived of sunlight. Section 9, Beyond the Black Hole. So if you find yourself face to face with a narcissist, remember this. You are not alone. There are ways to handle them. To protect yourself from their emotional manipulation, educate yourself, set boundaries, and most importantly, don't be afraid to walk away, because your sanity, your self-worth, your very soul is worth more than feeding the insatiable ego of a narcissist.